Hello, this is Wmpyr here to talk about this knife right here. This is a Sanrenmu knife. And I'm not here to talk about this knife like in terms of a conventional knife review. This is more about the things that I look for in a knife. And I'm hoping that will help you guys out when you're looking for your knife for self-defense purposes. So I'm looking at it from a martial arts slash self-defense point of view. So I'm not going to do the conventional stuff about blade steel and things of that nature. So it closed is roughly about 3 inches. When you open it up, you can see that massive finger choil right there. So the blade edge doesn't even start to like way up here. And so the actual edge, I would say, is a little over 1.5 inch, but under 2 inches. So about, like 1.75 inch, something along those lines. Okay. And yeah, so I guess the question is, here's the locking. It's a liner lock. And the question is, okay, so for self-defense, what do I think, right? And lengthwise, honestly, it's a little bit short. And why would I say that? This, of course, is going to be a case by case, but when you hold a knife like this in your hand, you want a little bit to be sticking out like this for hammer fist purposes. Or even if you go the other direction and you go more like ridge hand type purposes, you want a little bit sticking out. Now, if it's sticking out on both sides, great. Okay, you're just going to have more options there. But at least the hammer fist is kind of what I'm looking for, being able to use this closed. Now, if you don't care about using it closed, then obviously that's not going to apply to you. So martial arts is always about, does it apply to you or not? It doesn't mean that it needs to be sticking out like this. But in this case, it's not. And then for me, I use techniques and I practice techniques of using the knife in the closed position. Therefore, for me, this is not a good thing. Okay. In my hand, you can see that it, it basically completely, almost completely, on the other side, you can't even see. All right. Covers inside the hand, whereas I said I want some sticking out. Covert wise, if that's your thing, then this would work, right? So once again, that's depends on what you're looking for. Now the next thing is this, the finger choil right here. So when I'm holding the knife right here, I have the option to hold it here or I have the option to hold it here. Now, your finger kind of tends to, if it's here, it kind of tends to slide up here. So you naturally tend to choke up on this knife, okay? And when you choke up on this knife, what it does is it increases the handle length. So I just said to you guys, the handle's a bit small. But in this case, now I'm not thinking of necessarily doing a strike this way. I'm thinking about real estate. So how much gripping surface do I have? And the more the better, obviously, with a knife, especially with a knife, because it's not like a sword, so you're not having really grandiose gripping. With a knife, a lot of times it's going to be more compact, and you definitely want to be able to hold a solid grip. Grip is very, very important, especially because you're going to be exerting force onto that thing. So in this case, it increases the grip area. So is that a good thing? Well, when you do increase force, because my finger is going to be, my pointer finger is going to be right here, you can see how close that is to the blade edge. And with force, that could easily slide up and down a little bit. And that's, to me, just too dangerous. So in that sense, even though it increases the real estate, grip real estate, when you use it with force, and that's what self-defense is going to be, you're going to be using it with force, this would not be good. So then when would this be good? For utility purposes that you could choke up all the way up here and do some fine cutting and stuff, that's great. For utility type purposes, this is a great utility knife. For self-defense knife, for me, this is a no, okay? Now, That being said, could I use this for self-defense? Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. At the end of the day, a knife is a knife is a knife. So could I use this for self-defense? Sure. Do I think it was designed for self-defense? No. And do I think that it is a good choice for self-defense? No. Okay. So yeah, please keep that in mind. All right. So as a utility knife, it's able to make it, because like I said, this is technically a part of the choil becomes a part of the handle, like I said, and that disappears, making it, see, if when it folds, it's gone. So it's extra compact. And why would you want that? Well, for combat, for self-defense and stuff, it would be more for concealment. But in this case, obviously, that's not. This is a utility knife. So then it is about being compact and ease of carry. So in that sense, this is a victory. This fits in an Altoid survival tin can, one of those. This will fit fine in there. In fact, that's how I got this knife. Is a YouTuber put it in a Altoid survival tin can for me, and yeah, so it fits great in there. Doesn't take up a whole lot of space, and then deployment. Being able to open it. Small knives are definitely, small folding knives are harder to deploy. This one, for its size, deploys well, and then, like I said, increases the real estate for the handle, and then you're able to work with this as a utility knife. So as a utility knife, I think this is a score. For self-defense, obviously, do not recommend it. So I hope you guys can see, some of the things that I look for. So definitely, this is going in one of my survival bug out bags, and not one for like self-defense, or not being carried by me for self-defense purposes. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.